Good morning, everyone. My name is Sharantaya. I am from Section C, CSC AMF branch. Today's my tech topic is reading friction versus non-friction. What builds a sharper mind? Isn't just about books we read. It's about what happens inside our brain when we read them. The big question. Let us start with the big question. You often hear the friction makes your dream, allowing you to escape and imagine. And you hear that non-friction makes you think, forcing you to process facts and logic. But we need to ask which are truly makes your mind sharper. Is it one or the other? Or is there a secret middle ground? Today we are going to out exactly what happens inside your brain every time you flip a page. What fiction really does. First, let's look at what fiction really does. Friction is your passport to imaginary worlds. It allows you step into someone else's shoes to become a detective, a wizard, or a time traveler. This isn't just a passive reading. Your brain doesn't just read the story, it lives in it. Science actually proves this. When you read fiction, your brain activates the same regions as you experience those emotions in real life. That's why a great novel can genuinely make you cry or feel inspired. As George R. R. Martin said, a reader lives a thousand lives before he dies. What fiction really does. Now let's pivot to non-fiction. I like to think of non-fiction as the gym of our logic brain. Its job is to teach, explain, and organize facts into clear patterns. You need about how things work out, why people succeed, and what history teaches us. For example, reading Atomic Habits doesn't just entertain, it actively rewrites how you think about your behavior and motivation. Nonfiction is all about sharpening your critical thinking muscles. It's just about building a structured, rational view of world. In nonfiction, a different set of areas are activated: memory focus and analytical reasoning. It builds real-world knowledge and strengthens your prefrontal cortex, the key decision-making center of your brain. Non-fiction makes you question, connect, and conclude. For example, reading about the climate science trains your brain to think systematically, connecting cause, effect, and data and points logically. Friction builds emotional intelligence. This brings us to the core benefits. Fiction builds emotional intelligence. By immersing yourself in different characters, you understand people better, learning to read emotions, motivates, and perspectives. Fiction builds soft skills that AI can't easily replicate: empathy, imagination, and storytelling. Things of the code. You'll never really understand a person until you climb into the skin and walk around it in. When you read this, your brain is actually learning the skill of empathy, not just the language. Non-fiction builds the logical intelligence. On the other side, non-fiction builds a logical intelligence. It is the foundation of structured thinking. It helps us you to solve the problems from rational opinions and analyze your complex situations. It also strengthens your memory and focus and skills and crucial for real life success. A great example is reading the Learn Startup. After reading it, you just dream about few businesses. You learn how to turn ideas into concrete plans. Friction versus non-friction. Friction, the superpower of understanding others. The friction is primary role is to act as a simulator for a human experience, giving your mind an emotional imagination workout. It is a powerful engine for your building emotional intelligence. It boosts creativity and empathy. When you read a novel, Your brain doesn't just process words, it actively constructs the cater internal words and their motivations and the emotional landscapes of the story. By stepping into the shoes of the thousand different characters, be a detective, a wizard, or a rebel, you learn to read emotions and motives perspectives. And also, it strengthens the theory of mind. This is the key of cognitive skill that allows us to understand that others have beliefs, desires, and intentions, and different from your own. Reading fiction activates the same brain region as when you experience those emotions is real life, strengthening your ability to grasp another person's point of view. In essence, your brain can't tell the difference between the vivid fictional experience and reality. Based for emotional growth, fiction helps us to process complex human dilemmas in a safe, detached environment. This training builds the soft skills like empathy and storytelling that are crucial for human connection and collaboration, and which modern technology like AI can't replicate. Its superpower, understanding others. Ultimately, fiction opens your heart. It teaches how and why people behave the way they do, preparing you for messy reality for social and professional interactions. Non-fiction, the superpower of understanding the world. Non-fiction, like a gym for your logical brain, providing a rigorous analytic thinking workout designed to improve your grasp of reality and structure. It boosts logic reasoning. Nonfiction teaches and explains the organized facts into patterns. Whether you're reading about the climate science or behavioral economics, your mind is forced to think systematically by connecting and cause and effect and data. It makes your question connect and conclude. Provides an analytical thinking workout. This type of reading actively engages your memory, focus, and analytical reasoning areas. This process is effectively sharpening your critical thinking muscles, moving beyond the imagination to concrete applications. It strengthens the structured thinking. Nonfiction doesn't just inform, it revises how you approach challenges. It builds the capacity to solve the problems from opinions and analyze your situations rationally. For example, reading a book on habits teaches you how to you turn ideas into structured plans. Based for practical knowledge. By building real world knowledge, it strengthens your protophoneal context, the brain decision making center. It reinforces the practical skills necessary for real life success, such as memory, retention, and focus. Its superpower is understanding the world. In short, nonfiction sharpens your logic. It equips with your the facts, frameworks, and critical tools necessary to navigate and explains the strategically operate within the physical and conceptual world around you. What research? The science completely argues about picking one winner between fiction and non-fiction instead of supporting the band's approach to build a truly sharpening mind. Research indicates that each genre, each genre provides unique cognitive benefits, exercising different muscles in the brain. The benefits of friction are well documented by neuroscience. Mental science memory. A study conducted by Harvard neuroscientists found that reading friction leads to an increase in brain connectivity that lasts for days. A phenomena describes a mental muscle memory. This suggests that conjugative improvement from the narrative reading not just temporary, but leads to lasting structure and frictional changes in the brain. Opens the creativity. Research from the University of Toronto specially highlighted that readers of fiction tends to be more open-minded and creativity. By constantly immersing themselves in diverse perspectives, imaginary worlds, fiction readers develop a greater tolerance and ambiguity and an enhanced ability to think laterally. Consequently, non-fiction reading provides essential analytical strengths, logical reasoning memory. A different study published in Harvard Review in 2020 showed that readers who primarily engaged with non-fiction excelled in logical reasoning and memory retention. Non-fiction, which is structured around the facts, data, and linear arguments, trains your brain to process information systematically and connecting cause, effects, and conclusion, which directly enhances your profound context, the decision making. In summary, the scientist's takeaway is clear. Fiction opens your heart by building empathy, imagination, and social intelligence. Meanwhile, non-fiction sharpens your logic by enhancing critical thinking, focuses, and analytical reasoning. A mind that treats both stories and studies in mind that becomes flexible, adaptable, and powerful enough to change the world. Real life impacts. In the real world, real thinkers combine both. Leaders like Barack Obama and Bill Gates read both fictions for empathy and non-fiction for strategy. Writers use non-fiction research to make their fiction believable, and entrepreneurs use fiction to think big and non-fiction to act smart. The secret to great thinkers is to balance imagination with information. So, what will say sharper mind? The final answer is the sharper mind comes from switching between both worlds. Fiction stretches your imagination and non-fiction strengthens your logic. Together, they make your brain flexible, adaptable, and powerful. The mind that reads both stories and studies in that changes the world. Takeaway message. My final takeaway for you is simple. Read fiction to understand people. Read non-fiction to understand world. A truly sharp mind blends emotion with intellect and creativity with reason. So next time when you pick a book, ask yourself, am I training my heart or my head today? Thank you.